Can I be real or is it boring? To give you a peace of mind, cause mine is so enormous. Way past the norm, Norman, while you're conforming. Like comforting mattresses.
What up, though? It's that nigga Mom, man. So, Abdullah Mason in this fight that just had happen. It's kind of crazy against Albert Bell. I never heard of him before this fight, but he was doing great in that fight. But a lot of people believe what I believe. It was called too early, man. So, but before we get into this, like, subscribe, and share so we hit that 100K today. And this is some content from Boston Gems Film Study. So, let's get right into this. And if y'all didn't know, I do like watching boxing. So, let's get into this, man. Used to box when I was real young, but I don't do that shit no more.
In the first round, Bell will come out circling to Mason's left. Now, traditionally, that's said to be a no-no, as a southpaw strong or power hand is the left hand. So that means by circling that direction, Bell is aligning his lead hand to Mason's center line and Mason's rear hand to his own center line. It was clearly with purpose, but back to that in a minute. Basically controlled the exchange environment for the entire first half of the fight was Albert Bell's probe. The probe is especially a counterpuncher's perception tool. A probe is a non-committal extension of either hand that can serve several purposes. It gives the ability to control the jab lane in southpaw versus orthodox matchups, since lead hands are aligned and the closest to each other. Also, the probe draws out specific reactions from opponents in which Bell can process and commit to an output without gambling. For attacking last, aka counterpunching, which is Bell's bread and butter, a probe creates a temporary obstacle that the opponent must solve before they can initiate offense. That obstacle functions like a movable barrier, canalizing the opponent into more predictable entries and reducing the number of viable solutions available. In this fight, it meant Mason starting offense from too far out and being forced into the mid-range kill zone. Mason lunged in reach with the rear hand, which Albert was able to slip outside easier due to his circling right. If outside slip counters are the plan, you will want the opponent's rear hand on your center line so you can dictate that the slip will actually be outside the lane, as opposed to having equal alignment or the opponent's jab hand alignment. Mason will also throw single mid-range jabs to make up the distance and got punished for all of it.
This nigga Albert Bell was out there bitch scrapping. I looked at majority of the fight, but I ain't watched the whole thing. I really just caught the end of it. I looked at the highlights.
Attacking first, the probe can act as a decoy for the opponent's defense to chase while Bell locks in on abandoned targets. Mason likes to use a form of the shell or the shoulder roll defense in the
but it's too far out.
Southpaw versus orthodox, which is proven to be a mistake. But when he follows the probe down, he's left with little choice. He hopes the single high shield will be enough protection, but it rarely is. Or combined with disengagements, the probe can cause Mason to freeze and guarantee Bell sets his beat before Mason can follow in the range and set his, creating asymmetry and readiness in a more solid disengagement trap.
Cause he was winning like the first 6 rounds, Bell, from what I seen.
base 44.
Guys, Nina just built an app.
Impossible.
Mason did have moments of success. His best adjustment early was attacking beneath the probe with straights to the body. By changing levels, he altered the geometry of the exchange, making Bell's extended lead hand less effective because the targets had shifted vertically. Occasionally, Mason also disguised his entries. Instead of attacking immediately, he moved his head first, widened stance safely, sneaking in a half step, then fired from that closer position. Those entries were far more successful because he saw distance before throwing. He also found sporadic success immediately after Bell's clinches, where Bell's awareness wasn't always sharp enough to deny follow-up offense.
I heard he was grabbing a lot. Cause I was reading the comments. I heard Bell was grabbing a lot and he wasn't really calling. The ref wasn't calling.
But even with those moments, Bell largely dictated the first 6 rounds. He controlled initiation with the probe and controlled termination with angles and clinches, making his winning exchanges repeatable. The fight appeared to change in round 7. A possible accidental clash of heads followed shortly by a punch seemed to have damaged Bell's nose. Whether it was fractured or badly swollen, the effects quickly became visible. Then, of course, after the fight, a damaged nose can swell, fill the nasal passages with blood, and obstruct airflow. Bell already appeared to have a deviated septum entering into the fight, making any obstruction even more significant. Since boxers rely heavily on nasal breathing during recovery between exchanges, losing that ability forces mouth breathing, which can reduce recovery efficiency while increasing fatigue. Bell's probe became less frequent. Without probing, Bell gathered less information, controlled the lead hand lane less effectively, and lost much of the anticipation his counterpunching depended on. As the probe disappeared, Mason no longer had to solve that movable barrier.
I know I'm late on it, but that nigga nose was turned like a motherfucker. Let me look at my shit.
For initiating offense. Now he could begin exchanges much closer. To Mason's credit, he immediately recognized the opening. Instead of lunging from outside, he consistently initiated from closer range, where Bell's reaction windows were much smaller. Mason also continued investing in the body, further degrading Bell's stamina and compounding the breathing issues. The exchange environment had completely shifted. Early in the fight, Bell controlled initiation through perception. Late in the fight, Bell was simply trying to disengage. While the championship rounds, Bell's offense had simplified dramatically. The probe had largely disappeared. The disengagement traps became simple exits. The counter opportunities became fewer. His system had lost permission to consistently produce winning exchanges. Mason kept closing distance, investing to the body, and eventually Bell's declining awareness during clinches allowed Mason to score the first knockdown of Bell's career in the 12th round.
That was like a push, though.
Then came one of the worst stoppages you'll see in a championship fight.
Oh! Now I see it. That was the worst.
This seemed to be a crazy first, second, or even third choice for a week and a half replacement opponent. But congrats to Abdullah Mason for recognizing the change in the exchange environment and taking advantage to the fullest. fight found. Boxing is culture.
Yeah, that was good, man. That was a good ass fight. Tell me how y'all feel in the comment section. With that being said, like, subscribe, and share. Stay peaceful, productive, and positive. It's that nigga Mom, and much love.
Can I be real or is it boring? To give you a peace of mind, cause mine is so enormous. Way past the norm, Norman, while you're conforming. Like comforting mattresses that comfort them when torment snoring. Like you in your own home without home phone. I'm on like E.T., got a phone home past the moon. It's not a movie, I'm about to fly past it soon. Spiritually, I roam alone. Physically, I'm eating off a plastic spoon. Sometimes I get caught in the spirit of the moment when ignorance